There is a monster in my basement, and despite what it seems, he is not your friend. Now before we get to the tour, I'd like to explain that I am playing on a private server owned by a close friend. I'm currently sitting in my own house that I have redecorated for Halloween. But I very much like the aesthetic. I have jack-o'-lanterns in the trees, a nice arch of the tree. I had to beg the admin to leave this tree here, so he left these as a reminder. Here we have gravestones of all the named animals that have died on the server since we started. Morgan Jr. was a sheep. I stole the admin's shears and he responded by getting his wool anyway, by murdering the sheep. Just happened to be the only sheep that we named. Wifey, our first zombie villager, we suspect despawned. Reet beef died mysteriously. We have no idea what happened to him. Reet sheep, we found his remains under a newly spawned tree. And Beetle Bruce, zombie villager who died on camera of mysterious causes. Over here we have our spider cave. We have a spider spawner set up over here. Originally the admin only had a roof over this, but I came over in survival mode and redecorated. Eventually we got our villagers figured out, and they're currently on vacation in a nice hotel. We've got a pool set up, a nice garden. This is our named villager Ditterbone, and our other named villager Beetleboot. We have nice security force and the honeymoon suite. Nice. And over here, of course, we got the smoking corner. Now on the opposite side of the island is the admin's domain. Most of everything over here was built by the admin. He's got a nice house. As you can see, he's a man of culture. And he's currently building a wizard tower and a mountain. Now, before we move on to anything else, the most important thing is this. I have to say that I definitely got in the Halloween spirit and built all of this in survival mode. That's a nice use of banners if I say so myself. Now, the reason that I have to keep clarifying that I've done most of this in survival mode is because recently I've been cleared by the admin to be granted creative mode for a very special project. And to see that we're gonna have to go through the Nether. As you can see, we have a problem with ghasts. But here is blocked off for construction. I've built a haunted house that shouldn't have been seen by the admin yet, but I caught him peeking. Now here, we got the start of the map, the super late safe stay inn, with 2 beds for respawn, and our tour guide, Waldorf. He's my favorite. A dark shadow looms over this town. Can see why. I don't know why that wasn't working. Now, this should be in Eternal Night for purely aesthetic reasons, and not just because I don't want you to notice that the trees are made out of fences. Beware, curse of big dog be upon you. Now, for aesthetic, we have wither roses in the front yard. I know they cause damage. We got a horse, zombie horse, and skelly horse. And of course, a Cerberus. They'll figure it out. And over here, we've got a spooky ghost, the lost lover. You can tell he's a ghost from his ghostly figure and ghostly particles, ghostly afro. It's not a ghost unless it has an afro. I am Ghost, see? My love Dave is still trapped inside. Save him. Now before we go inside, there's 2 more things I'd like to point out. I have a gravestone set up over here named Boot, which is the nickname of our admin, who's going to be touring this nice abode. Over here, we got a sign you can't read right now, but it says, "Something was buried here," and if you dig down here, you'll find a sign saying, "All you've found down here is yourself." We got end crystals floating around for aesthetic, but I suspect that our admin will try to shoot them down with a bow and arrow. And lastly, outside we have our garden made of the only other plant besides wither roses that cause damage. Obviously they're cactus. Lastly, before we go inside, I'd like to take one more look at the outside because I am very proud of this build. At one point in building this, it just looked like a barn until I added the second tower. Now, firstly, inside we have danger levels. Down here is danger level 1. We have a zombie named Thing and cultists. The cult of the nice guy, because I believe that it will truly terrify our admin. We got some decorations, some nice paintings, banners. We got some heads on the windowsill, some jack-o'-lanterns out the window. This might be more terrifying. Danger, final battle below, max danger level. Down there I've set up a boss battle. The final boss battle. Now up here we have danger level 2. We got even more Cult of the Nice Guy here. And around that corner we have a very special surprise. Over here it's just bookshelves. We have a nice mural in the stairway. And up here we've got cobwebs and forest brew. This is danger level 3. Because we got clone of Span. Obviously an evoker. And is that the only guy that I had up here? But more than that, in here we got a shit ton of Vindicators that are going to surprise our admin if he tries to open that door. And obviously in the attic, oh, we've got a key and a door here that leads to Girlfriend Dave. Have I been chicken? I've been told I am chicken. Now that is actually supposed to be a reference to RuneScape, because I brought up to our admin that building this reminded me of the haunted house from RuneScape, in which you have to go in looking for this girl's boyfriend or something, and you find him and he's been turned into a chicken by a mad scientist. Now back downstairs, once you find 2 keys, you can enter this closet. You need 2 keys to enter here, 1 to enter and 1 to leave. In there we have another zombie, a zombie villager named Thing, and a box with an item in it that says that you can now enter the boss room. Down here we have Span, Span, and Span. 3 evokers and a secret ghast. Nothing suspicious here. I am Span. You who have invaded my home, face my fury. Definitely doesn't say face my fury. And my clone army. Face ghosts and land sharks. Finally, we got a nice prize. An IOU for a spawner, an evoker spawn egg, so we can harvest totems of undying for an eternity after we finally beat this. Finally, that is it. Hopefully I'll come up with more ideas for future adventure maps. And of course, there will be a future video on the admin actually going through this thing. Possibly with a little help. Thank you and goodbye. There is a monster in my basement, and despite what you see, he is not your friend. If you like that video, please consider subscribing to encourage me to make more. I'm currently recording this in front of a fan.